Honestly speaking, Knights, man, we back. We're back, and I'm excited, bro. Like, you don't understand, man. Like, everybody's been dealing with so much. This is a test of trying times. And I feel like my spirit is like refreshed, renewed. Just a different journey that I've been on with my faith walk, my spiritual walk, in my daily relationships, in my fitness, in my health, and my well being. Um, I've been learning a lot about myself, and just in terms of just learning how to just push through things, learning how to just work through things. And I'm excited. I thank God for this time. I thank God for the trials and tribulations, for the highs and the lows. Um, we try to cultivate our own paths, and do things, just in our human likeliness. We try to work so hard to just try to take care of everything on our own. Um, and so I know it's tough for us to stop and say, man, let me just trust. Let me just trust the Father. Let me just put all my faith in Him. And I think that's been the journey as of late. And I think that's why we've taken so much time away. It definitely was not intentional. You guys have been great. We loved creating content. Um, I think this time away was just really just time for us. That solitude, um, being able to sit still and just hear what God was speaking to us. Dealing with things in our own personal lives and just trying to push through those, and while still being diligent. Still trying to remain faithful to His word, hold true to His word, and things of that sort, that nature. So I think this journey has definitely been a beautiful one. You don't get the good without going through some of the bad, some of the ugly. So I'm thankful for you guys. This is episode 26. Not really no title or anything like that. Just really just getting back into the swing of things with you guys. And I think just in terms of just briefly me speaking about really putting your trust and your faith in God. I think we have a verse here today, coming from First Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 13, and it says, "Be alert, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong." And verse 14 says, "Do everything in love." I wanted to include that because that's just so important. Just knowing and understanding that as believers of Christ, as walkers in the faith, everything we do should be deeply rooted in love, and of course faith first. But everything we do, how we interact with others, our relationship should be cultivated with love. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough. Everybody can kind of go to that point of like, well, I didn't grow up with this, or I didn't come from a loving family, or in that's all very true and all understandable. You know what I'm saying? But the beauty of life and the beauty of walking with Christ is that when He blesses us with another day, it really is another opportunity, right? It's another opportunity to come into something different, come into a new form, right? To work on ourselves, to push ourselves, because that's where it starts. Ultimately, it starts with us, right? Ultimately, it starts with us, and so working on loving ourselves first, working on building ourselves up. That's where it starts, because working on giving to ourselves. Because if we can't do that for ourselves, we probably can't do it for other people, right? So, um, everything should be rooted in love, man. We should be walking in love, uplifting, encouraging, empowering people, to be their best self, you know, uplifting people, encouraging people, empowering people to read their word, to come to church, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I'm still learning this, is that it's discipline. It's really not easy, and I really think that just me personally, when I'm walking with God, when I'm reading my scripture, when I'm praying steadfast, right, when I'm in my word, when I'm sharing that joy with other people, it's a process, right, and it's not always a pretty one. I say that to say, like, this walk takes a lot of discipline, and I think that's kind of where I'm cultivating my perspective of discipline. I can't get that from somebody else, and from somebody else telling me to push myself, or from somebody else telling me to work hard. I have to motivate myself at the end of the day, right? So, um, from what I've experienced, in this relationship, in this lifestyle, is that we have to have a lot of discipline, almost way more than average. Excuse me, way more than average, because without it, things we'll kind of always fall back into our old patterns, and we'll kind of always like be in the same positions or predicaments, that we've been in, right? Um, and so I say that to say, let's work on being our best self, our most disciplined self, our most sufficient self, our most loving self, our most nurturing self. Let's work on being our most beautiful self that we possibly can. Let's really work to be the best version of ourselves. But none of that can happen if we're not praying every day, right? If we're not spending time, talking to God, honestly about things that we struggle with, things that have been tough on us, or, our past, whether it be relationships, or just feelings and emotions and traumas that we've experienced. um, you know all of those things are very important, and to help cultivate discipline within ourselves, because then if we have that, then we can kind of help and encourage other people to strive and to push themselves further than what they've been accustomed to, right? So I think for me, um, the biggest things for me have been discipline, and consistency. Being I've been studying in my personal time. I've been training, working out. um, but you can train, you can work out as hard as you can, but if your diet, people who are familiar with working out and fitness and different things of that sort, of that nature, you know there's a famous saying that you can't out train a bad diet, right? Meaning that if I train hard as heck, right, every day, 7 days a week, but I eat terrible, I'm probably not gonna look or get the results that I want, right? So, and it's kind of the same thing. Like if I'm not reading my word, if I'm not being consistent, disciplined, and reading my word and talking to God, um, then I'm probably not going to get the results that I want in my spiritual life, either, right? So it's everything is all divinely connected. You know what I'm saying? That's I think that's the beautiful part about life. It's all divinely connected. Mind, body, heart, soul, spirit. It's all aligned. You know what I'm saying? So it's all deep work. It's all a process. We have to constantly do some deep work, constantly be, checking ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and just ensuring that, everything is in line, everything is aligned, you know what I'm saying? Because if not, I'm doing myself a disservice, you know what I'm saying? If not, I'm not working at my fullest capability, right? And so, this time away has kind of helped me personally see that. Um, and it's a journey, man. It's a beautiful journey. God is going to call the people who are meant to be there, to come along for the journey, to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying? And the people who aren't, he's gonna He's going to allocate them in the proper place that they need to be, right? Because we all are walking in our own journeys. You know what I'm saying? So it's never. I think we as people, we as humans, especially nowadays, we get into a phase of like everything having to be everything having to be problematic, or like, oh, I'm cutting this person off. It's like, no, it's not. Cutting somebody off isn't. It's not supposed to be a good thing. It's not supposed to be like a. It's it's clearing house. It's like detoxing your life. You know what I'm saying? So God is going to divinely place people in the areas that they need to be in your life. You know what I'm saying? There's seasons that they're going to be in your life, and there's seasons that they're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa for us and other people's lives. And we have to know and understand that and not take that personal. Um, I think that, and that kind of goes back to the walking in love aspect for me personally, because if someone leaves my life, I don't want to have a spirit of, oh well, forget them. Like I didn't need them. It should just more so be like, I love you and God bless, and I wish you the best. Like I think we as people need to get more into the spirit of just love and just loving on people and wishing them the best, even if they are not with us in our daily walk, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's a big deal, because everybody's experiencing something, everybody's going through something, everybody's navigating through this life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has the manual of success to where, oh, hey, I got it. Here's the blueprint. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing their own things, and things are working for some people right here, and things might not be working for people over here, but it's working in different areas, right? So everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own paths. And so for me, I just want to get to a point personally to where we're just loving on people in spite of, right? Whether we see each other every day, whether we're in each other's lives every day or not. You know what I'm saying? It's all about love at the end of the day.